All right, everybody, and welcome. I have a fantastic interview ahead today. A lot of you would have seen me walking around with a big meathead jug here. And for those of you watching the video, you can actually see that I've got a pink solution here. And the reason being is that quite often I am spending the day drinking essential amino acids coming from our product, Essential Amino Acids. Now, I have the brains behind this particular formula right here with me today. Dr. Tega, thank you very much for joining me.
My pleasure, Kris. Great to be here.
So for our listeners listening into this and viewers, would you be able to give us just a brief background of who you are and what you do and how this become the direct correlation of amino synergy that we have right here?
Absolutely. I'm a medical doctor by training, family practice, but I've always been interested in the connection between health, nutrition, fitness, and performance. And early in my career, I started an integrative health center in Portland, Oregon. I worked with the Portland Trailblazers. I was their other doctor. And I've written 10 books, many of them on stress, change, performance. And I've been a consultant to Ajipure. I also work with the American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine, where I run programs in performance for them as well. So I've been fascinated by these supplements that are able to enhance muscle strength and endurance.
Great. Okay, thank you for that. And Ajinomoto, for the listeners and viewers listening in, this is a manufacturer of the MP9 matrix that we actually have here. So, this is an exciting ingredient. So could you tell us the background of Ajinomoto and
Sure.
the manufacturer of MP9?
Yeah, well, Ajinomoto is a 100-year-old company, and they're headquartered in Japan. And they manufacture only the highest quality, ultra-pure amino acids. Now, they don't use any animal products. They use only vegan plant sources, and they ferment these, then they filter them to yield the most pure amino acids. They don't use any fillers. They don't do any shortcuts. So the study of fermentation is known as zymology, which is a great word. So we ferment soy, we ferment miso. Those of us who drink our beer, we've fermented that as well. And so there's an art and a science to that. So what the Japanese have done is they have scientifically studied which bacteria, like think of probiotics that they're going to introduce that enzymatically act on the plants to yield the amino acids that they want. And the rigor of this process is what really sets things apart. There's another way you can get amino acids. You can extract them. Now, when you extract them, you don't know what you're getting. There are third world companies that use hair, they use bird feathers and other sources. Then they chemically use solvents to extract the amino acids, but not Ajinomoto. And what's also important is they control every step in the production process. There's no middlemen. So these plant-based sources, they're renewable, they're sustainable, and they're good for the environment. And it's an ultra-clean process. So when you see this Ajipure stamp of approval of a product that's quality, safety, and purity.
Right. It's funny when you say that about the bird feathers and animal fur or human hair. I'm sure everybody's kind of stopping in their tracks and they're rewinding right now to hear that again. But, this is something that I've been telling the industry, telling people, that the consumer, that this is something that they need to be aware of. I've been doing so for about 4 years now. And it's quite common within the industry. People know that, but, a lot of people aren't going to wave a flag and tell you this is what we do. But it's something that people definitely need to be aware of because, you could be using harsh chemicals. It could be using extractions of, these particular products. But with Ajinomoto, you actually ferment the ingredient. Do you know the actual process of that fermentation?
Well, fermentation is the same all over fermentation is zymology. You essentially take a plant source and you're going to subject it to, in an aerobic condition, you're going to introduce specific bacteria that begin to break down the product into its constituent amino acids.
So, there is a lot of confusion out there with essential amino acids and BCAAs and which one's better. Like, what benefits can an athlete or a bodybuilder get from essential amino acids?
Sure, absolutely. Well, they make up about 20% of the body. And they're essential amino acids, there's 9 of them, so the body can't synthesize them. And they have to be provided in the form of food or supplements. Now, essential amino acids have many functions. And what you need to know is that unlike whey proteins, whey proteins require digestion and absorption. These essential amino acids, the Ajipure MP9, go directly and quickly right into the bloodstream. So you've got that big jar, and those amino acids are going right into your system. So when we look at studies of people taking amino acid supplementation, what we see is with Ajipure, we see this boom, this rise in the pronounced peak, and then it's about 5 minutes, and then it continues and drops off in about 2 hours. So when you take whey, you get a much more blunted absorption curve. Now, Ajinomoto has conducted a number of studies, and they've shown that this is an important point, that 3 grams of Ajipure MP9 stimulates muscle protein synthesis equal to 20 grams of whey protein. So it's a pure high-test fuel.
There's various times that I personally like to take the Amino Synergy. Like, I'll take it first thing in the morning. I'll post-workout is when I'll have a whey isolate. But then I always do cardio. I'm a bit of a hybrid athlete, so I'll compete in Ironman events, ultra marathon. But I'm kind of built like a bodybuilder as well, because I train like a bodybuilder. So, after my weight training, I'll have my whey, but then I'll do my cardio, and that's when I'm always drinking my essential amino acids as well, because I'm trying to retain my muscle. I'm not somebody that's your generally thinner, endurance athlete.
Yeah. So, another point that I'd like to sort of mention about for the high performance athlete, it has to do with, what are the protein requirements for athletes and bodybuilders? I mean, we toss this around all the time. How much protein do you really need? So on one hand, we have the government, and they said RDI, a recommended daily intake for a healthy adult at about 0.8 grams per kilogram per day. So this would be for the non-athlete, let's say a man who weighs 80 kilos or 176 pounds. So this would be 64 grams of protein. Now, what's really hard in the studies to set an upper level for protein. There are studies that suggest that the maximum beneficial level for a strength-trained athlete kind of could come in around 2 grams per kilogram per day. So this would mean that if we've got an 80-kilogram man who's actively working to build muscle, they would need 160 grams of protein a day. Now, if you're going to get that from lean meat, eggs, whey protein, boy, you're going to be busy eating and drinking all day long. You're going to have to be tethered to the whey protein. It's just not a very efficient way to get the protein you need compared to supplementation with the Ajipure MP9. So 2 servings a day are the equivalent of 40 grams of whey protein. So that's enormous efficiency. It's just a better way. And a single 3-gram serving of Ajipure MP9 is only 15 calories. So I think that we have to think about efficiency, and we have to think if we're going to really build muscle, we've got to get in very high quality amino acids and get them in quickly into our system.
Yeah, exactly right. And what I've noticed as well, as I get a little bit longer in the tooth, I don't digest foods as well, so I rely on the supplements that much more. And I continue to evolve, but obviously as the industry evolves, we evolve with it. So it's the perfect scenario. And this wasn't part of the questions that I had listed for you, but I assume that this would be very, very beneficial for like a vegan or vegetarian as well, who generally isn't getting all their proteins in.
Absolutely. I think vegans and vegetarians struggle with getting enough protein in. And particularly the vegans, So I think this is a great, easy supplement. If you're a vegetarian athlete, a vegan athlete, you want to build muscle. This is again, these are all plant sources. These are vegan products. There's no hair. There's no feathers. It's a great product for the vegan or vegetarian athlete.
Okay, great. Now, this is something that I'd love for you to explain to the viewers and listeners. Why is this in a proprietary blend? Because this isn't just to disguise a cheap formula that some companies do, as common practice, but to protect, I assume, the innovation behind this EAA formula?
Exactly. What you have here is you've got dozens and dozens of years of innovation and study to actually study how are we going to ferment these vegan sources? How are we going to enzymatically treat them? What is the unique ratio that we want to create that is ideal? So what is unique and patented is the ratio. And that's what Ajinomoto wants to hold on to, because, the really good companies also spend a lot of time and money doing studies. And that's what's really important as well. So Ajinomoto has done many studies to look at how well this works.
Right, of course. Okay, so this product is obviously, like you said, very, very good. Consumers that weight train, vegetarians looking to increase their essential amino acids, and endurance athletes as well. Because what I noticed when I was competing in my Ironman events this last year and the year before, it was very easy to consume whilst you're on the bike, while you're on the run, as opposed to trying to chug down like a whey protein or eat food. So very, very easy on the stomach as well. And particularly, I know some athletes drink it during their workouts as well. If you're doing a leg workout and it's intense and you're training pretty much half your body, you could feel very nauseous as well, especially if you're drinking a carbohydrate-based drink. So I guess This is very easy on the stomach as well to absorb.
Yeah.
So when would you say is the ideal time to take, the MP9 formula that you'd find like in Amino Synergy? Would it be pre-workout, during your workout, post-workout, between meals, all of the above?
The answer is yes, yes, and yes. So, we've mentioned that the data show rapid absorption of the amino acids. So this supports the fact that the product can have great efficacy during a workout. And, so this is where it's great in terms of a concentrated nature, the efficiency of it. 1 scoop, 10 ounces of water, as you know, provides about 20 grams. And you're not going to feel bloated. You're going to avoid that bloating feeling. But so certainly during a workout, but then pre and post. So really any time that's sort of convenient and in sync with your routine. I tend to do it before I work out and after I work out. And I listen to music and in between.
Yeah. Okay, got it. I actually, funnily enough, I drink it not like we do have like a caffeinated version. So we have an organic pure caffeine in here.
Yeah, all of us are, we're in this sort of battle between anabolism and catabolism. Building bone and building muscle, breaking down bone, breaking down muscle. So we want to give our body the substrates, the building blocks. And, I think before bedtime is a great time also because, that's when you're going to actually get reparation. You're going to build muscle. You're sleeping, you're resting. That's where you're going to get that, the muscle supplementation, basically.
All right. Okay. Well, anyway, so Ajinomoto is working closely with the KAGED Muscle R&D team, and these are 2 products that we're about to launch. These are new flavors that we got coming out, and we're looking at launching additional product with you guys. So thank you very much. I really appreciate your time with us today, and I'm sure that has really helped our viewers and listeners.
Kris, thanks. It's been a pleasure. Hope to see you soon. Take care.
Shall indeed. Thank you, sir.